Lightweights will tangle in our night's co-main event when Lemoore's Anthony Avila battles Marcello Cassero. After winning his first 7 professional bouts, Marcello Cassero dropped a split decision to Art Arciniega at TPF 16. Tonight, he returns for the first time since 2013 as he looks to get back in the win column by taking out a hometown favorite. Victorious in 4 of his last 5 fights, Team Alpha Male's Anthony Avila looks to pick up his 3rd victory in 2018. With his professional career spanning a decade, the Shark looks to make a statement with an impressive victory here tonight. Coming up next, it's our co-main event of the evening as Marcello Cassero meets Anthony Avila. You're watching TACHI Palace Fights.
Co-main event time here in Lemoore. On his way to the TACHI Palace Fights cage is Marcello Cassero. 7-1 on his mixed martial arts career. He represents 10th Planet Walnut Creek. He's been fighting since 2007. He said, "I will die before I quit." There's been no quit in any of our fighters here tonight. And Marcello Cassero wants to put on a show in his return here to the TACHI Palace Hotel and Casino. Last time we saw him was TACHI Palace Fights 16 when he dropped a split decision loss to Art Arciniega. That was 5-6 years ago, so it's been a long time since we've seen him, and that's been a theme with some of our fighters. So they've taken some breaks off, but with their performances thus far, it doesn't look like they've missed a beat, and Marcello Cassero hopes to not miss a beat in his return as well.
Maybe what we're seeing is a new wave of how people do the MMA training and fighting thing. To be able to come in, get some fights, figure out what you need to do, and then take a long time to get all of those different abilities to where you want them to be, and then come back to a place like this and show it off.
This fight tonight, technically in the lightweight division, a catchweight contest though at 150 pounds. Safe to say that we'll probably see these guys move down to 145 pounds in the future. But this is something I really do like about the TACHI Palace Hotel and Casino and matchmaker Richard Goodman. He doesn't force guys all the time to cut down, when fights are on short notice and things like that. He wants to make sure that both men can show up their best, and for this fight in particular, it made the most sense to put it on at 150 pounds.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing where the importance of the health of the fighters and really the quality of the fight becomes more important than just doing some arbitrary rule thing.
Right, yeah. Looking at the victories for Marcello Cassero, there really is no pause button on his offensive output. He's finished all 7 of his wins, 3 by way of knockout, 4 by way of submission. He wants to do more of the same, and we've seen aggression all night. I love a fighter that is not content to win on the judges' scorecards, and thus far throughout his career, Marcello Cassero, he wants to get his hand raised by stopping his opponent.
Yeah, well, he is the second to last fight tonight, and all the other fights that we've seen have been so high intensity and so exciting, so he must know that he really has to put out some impressive action in order to make a lasting impression.
His opponent, nicknamed the Shark, Anthony Avila. 16 wins, 5 losses on his MMA run, representing Team Alpha Male. He's on a streak, winning all 3 of his last 3 fights. Been fighting since 2008. This could be his last fight. He said that something needs to happen for him in his career, or he might hang it up. He hails from Lemoore. The faithful here inside the bingo hall, TACHI Palace Hotel and Casino, going to cheer him on. But it's interesting. We have seen a trend of, some fighters, if their career is not working out the way that they want to exactly, they are, retiring young. And at 29 years old, I mean, it's a shame to think that someone as talented as Anthony Avila with a record of 16-5 is considering, hanging them up at just 29 years old.
Yeah, especially when there's people who are just getting into it at the age of 29. But I think that there's something to be said that this sport is so all-encompassing and it absorbs every aspect of your life. And so when a person knows that they have to devote themselves completely, if they realize that they don't necessarily want to do that anymore, the intelligent thing for them to do is to step away.
Right. He's a very well-rounded fighter. We saw that when he got a heel hook victory over Ray Cervera. It's not often you see fighters really play a leg game in mixed martial arts. Not a lot of people are super confident with it. Sometimes they'll go for a leg to induce a scramble and maybe switch position, but to actually get a submission via heel hook in mixed martial arts really does say something about the level of Anthony Avila's game. So we'll see if the leg attack is on display tonight against someone who I'm sure plays a lot of submission games with someone like Marcello Cassero, who represents 10th Planet and Walnut Creek. So Anthony Avila might have a stiffer test in front of him tonight when it comes to the jiu-jitsu department.
Indeed. I saw that Marcello Cassero also trains at Phase 3 up in Santa Rosa. That's a great Muay Thai academy. I've gotten to go up there and do a couple seminars and talk to everybody up there, and I got a really good feeling from that place. So
Southern California and Northern California, California from top to bottom, it's a mecca for martial arts and mixed martial arts. And it's good to see fighters, get around. Obviously, you need a core gym to really stay with and train and prepare you. But the more people you get to work with, the different looks you get at the overall game, and that knowledge wears off.
Totally. Physical training, athletic training, lots of times is just trying out different movements.
Tail tape for our co-main event. Marcello Cassero stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, 1 inch taller than the Shark, both on point at 150 pounds. 9 years the elder is Marcello Cassero to Anthony Avila. We see the record 16-5 for Avila, 9-1 for Marcello Cassero. For our official introductions of this, our co-main event of the evening, here's Tyson Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the co-main event of the evening. This bout will be 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. This bout is being brought to you by JonathanRooker.com. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 150 pounds. He represents the 10th Planet out of Walnut Creek. Ladies and gentlemen, with an MMA record of 9 wins and 1 defeat, he hails from Santa Rosa, California. Please welcome Marcello Cassero. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in at 150 pounds. He represents Team Alpha Male with an MMA record of 16 wins and 5 defeats. He hails from Lemoore, California, fighting out of Sacramento. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony the Shark Avila. Your referee for this bout will be Jason McCoy.
Lightweights inside the TPF cage. Getting this assignment for our co-main event, Jason McCoy. TJ DeSantis, Leslie Smith, Tachi Palace Hotel and Casino, TPF 35 tonight.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Fight!
Touchy gloves, we are underway. Cassero in the long board shorts, Avila in the black. The tighter shorts, I should say.
Yeah, that's how. Seems like black shorts have been the choice for the night.
Ooh, nice. Left hand gets through by Avila. Finding success early is Avila with these strikes way from the outside as well. Really didn't set up either of those strikes that found a home. And that'll really sort of change the way a fighter can approach an entire contest. When you get hit early, you're almost more reactionary than offensive. And now Avila looks like he's going to try to get a takedown there, bails on it.
It can be really hard to play and create openings when you're really worried about getting hurt. And even if you know what you're doing inside of there, your body sometimes tells you, hey, I just got hit, and it'll slow things down, and it'll make it harder for you to react the way that you need to.
Looks like Cassero may be the longer fighter. He stands an inch taller. And hard to really establish that range when you're eating the punches and shots that he has from Avila.
Well, it's interesting how different their styles are. You see Cassero standing straight up, very Muay Thai style.
Right.
But he's got his hands, they're being turned in. They're staying so close to his head and turning in, so it makes it harder for him to throw those punches quickly, as opposed to we see Avila, and he's got the wider stance, and his hands they're already in motion, they're ready, and so they're snaking out a little faster.
Avila content to play the kickboxing game thus far. We'll see if this fight hits the floor. You know, I mention it because we talk about Cassero being a 10th Planet product. He's got the body for that style of jiu-jitsu, a very long body, but we're a long ways from seeing that played here if it goes it's on the feet thus far.
That was a nice jab by Cassero.
Loading up on the right hand is Marcello. Looks like he's kind of figured out that range with his hands a little bit. Avila trying to punch his way on the inside. Covering up now is Cassero. Misses with an uppercut. 2:30 left in the opening round. Ripping off that beautiful right hand and the left hand to the body.
That body shot, and then he redid it 2 more times.
Blood flowing now from the nose of Cassero. Changing his levels, giving multiple looks is Avila. Feigning with the knee is Cassero. Nice left hand, finds a home. Cassero might be in some trouble.
Avila sensed a weakness after he hit that body because his confidence has grown.
And the blood is flowing. Big breath there before the kick from Cassero. You know, Avila not getting too aggressive. You know, waiting for the opportunity, looking at the openings and taking them when they present themselves. Nice left hand, right hand countered there by Cassero.
Cassero looks pretty proud of himself. A little handshake exchange there.
You know, I think we've seen a lot of really great fights, but almost every fight, win or lose, I think fighters have been having fun tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely been one of the main themes, is these fighters are just enjoying themselves. We're seeing smiles, shows of appreciation, heart.
You mentioned that sort of Muay Thai stance there from Cassero. Slip there by Avila. Now he's rocked. On bottom now. Things can change in a heartbeat in mixed martial arts, and right now Anthony Avila needs to dig down deep.
Yeah, that head kick that Avila took when he just barely had stood up, almost illegal, but Cassero timed it so well. That might have given him some cobwebs.
Some right hands now by Cassero, in on a leg. We talked about that heel hook victory that Avila has in the past. He's able to get back to his feet in a scramble. Kimura grip there for Avila, but Cassero able to get free. This fight has completely changed its feel and tone in the last 45 seconds or so, and a hard right hand there by Cassero. Left hand finds a home for Cassero. Kick to the body. Now Cassero growing with confidence.
Man, Cassero, if I was him, I would just turn it up and flurry. I would use all up.
Nicely done there by Avila. Closed guard now.
So much for using all the energy to get off the cage and try to take advantage of the cobwebs. Avila was so smart to go for that takedown and to get this time to I don't want to say relax, but recover.
That was a huge takedown. Avila was obviously hurt. Cassero stands with his arms raised, and I think he needs to do that a little bit because judges seem to reward the last stanza a lot more than things previously in the fight. And for the duration of that first 5 minutes, it was more Anthony Avila than it was Marcello Cassero. But Cassero, I think, should deserve the round. He almost finished the fight, but he got taken down, and sometimes, you know, that is what a fighter can do to sort of steal around even if they've been hurt pretty badly.
Yeah, it is. That is the way. That's
right.
What happens, is that the judges see something exciting, then they forget everything else that happened.
I've always thought about when fights are stopped or halted for a while due to a groin strike, if the judges remember all the action that happened before the foul and the respite. It seems like judges almost have a little bit of ADD. They only remember, you know, what's right in front of them. Walk us through some of this action.
So this was the story at the beginning, was Avila was the one who was landing. This is when he got those 3 body shots in a row. And that took Cassero out for a little bit. Cassero was messed up. But then there's that trip and that kick to the head of Avila. That changed everything. From that point on, it was Cassero was running the show.
It'll be interesting to see what the judges reward. I mean, Avila was in control for most of that round, but Cassero was a lot closer to finishing the fight, but that's in the past. Round number 2 underway. We'll see if Avila has recovered.
You know, in my head, I have it even because they both got half of the first round.
Nothing wrong with the 10-10.
I'd like to see Cassero use those underhooks
Right.
to lift up and then put Avila on the cage.
Well, I think you see the difference in styles here. Avila much more comfortable with the wrestling game, but look at that reversal there by Cassero, having none of it. Avila now on his back. We'll see if the 10th Planet product wants to play jiu-jitsu. He does.
He dove into the jiu-jitsu.
Half guard here. Working the elbow to the body is Cassero. Full side down north-south.
After a back and forth round like that first one, we don't know what capacity these fighters are at. Are they at 100%? I highly doubt it. Are they operating at 70 or 40? There's no way to know, really.
Well, you got to
Holding
work. You got to
Cassero
work.
very close is Avila. Jason McCoy saying you got to work. Able to get free now is Cassero. Looked like Avila was maybe trying to keep him close to bait a referee stand-up, but Cassero able to get free and maintain his position. Oh, that one was illegal. That one was illegal. We'll have to look at a replay of that, but I think Avila was grounded.
I don't know. He might have been coming up.
It's so close and very difficult for the referee to acknowledge what was legal and what wasn't, but it was razor thin. And
watch your fingers, please.
that one will be interesting. Hopefully the truck can isolate that because it was very borderline to say the least. But now Anthony Avila in top, close guard here of Marcello Cassero.
Well, you got to work. You got to work. Watch your fingers.
Jason McCoy telling Avila, if you want to stay here, you got to work.
Oh, that was a nice elbow.
Beautiful elbow there. Posturing up again, landing the strike. 2.5 minutes, halfway point of this fight.
So there is an art to striking from inside the guard. What you want to do is not create enough space at any point so that the person underneath you can get out, but you want to make enough space so that you actually get power inside of your punches.
A lot of blood there on the face of Anthony Avila. I think it's coming from his nose.
Yeah, that was dripping when they were in their corners in between the rounds. I think you're right.
2 minutes left here in round number 2. Anthony Avila working from the guard here. I think you said it best. There really is an art from striking in the closed guard, and not a lot of fighters, utilize it to the point where they can land a lot of damage. A lot of people need to pass. Oh, armbar to omoplata position. Cassero able to stay. Oh!
Did that just happen? Oh my God! After everything, after he took 2 kicks to the dome when he was standing up and he was going to take that, wow.
That is why mixed martial arts is the greatest sport on the planet.
Dude.
Anthony Avila, if you think you could walk away after a performance like that, I beg to differ, sir.
Oh my God.
Don't go anywhere.
So Anthony Avila, this was his 22nd fight. He's got more fights than anybody on the card, and he just showed that he can do things that nobody would anticipate.
I don't have words for what we just saw, Leslie Smith. I don't.
The back and forth inside of that. Okay, so here it is. Look, he's getting up, standing. There was the kick. 100% legal. Oh, he said, you're going to kick me standing up? I'm going to kick you. Oh, my God.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Anthony Avila can do it better than you.
I want to see this fight again. I want to see a replay.
We'll see a replay, and we're going to see that highlight for a long time. Anthony Avila got kicked twice, legally or illegally, I'm not sure. And then when he got his opportunity to do the same thing, not only did he make it count, but it was 100% legal.
Oh, is this...
Pushed him away. Cassero thinks he's going to get up without any danger. Boom!
Right there. That must have gotten him just right on the top of the head and knocked it back. Jeez, man.
Great stoppage by Jason McCoy, preventing any other damage.
But look, you can't take anything away from Cassero. He had such an amazing fight up to that point. Everything that he was doing was impressive.
It was fantastic. every single fight tonight has been fantastic. I feel bad for the main event fighters because, I mean, the co-main event lived up to co-main event billing, and the main event, I mean, it has a lot to live up to cap off tonight's card. What an amazing co-main we saw between Marcello Cassero and Anthony Avila. My goodness, the Shark getting it done in impressive fashion. To make it official and give us the time of the stoppage, here is Tyson Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 minutes, 26 seconds into round number 2, your winner by way of knockout, Anthony the Shark Avila.
Anthony Avila getting it done. Nice embrace. He will speak with our Leslie Smith.
I'm standing here with your winner, Anthony Avila. We have been here together to talk after you won a fight before. Have you ever had a fight like this?
First, I'm going to start with my hands on this side, because Andre Fili and the rest of my friends are giving me shit, saying I was grabbing your butt last time, and I really wasn't, but they're assholes. That motherfucker clipped me, man. Last time I was talking to you, somebody clipped me too. But that was a legit clip, and I never got dropped like that in a fight.
Man, you finished that. Were you like, you kicked me in the head, I'm gonna kick you? Was it conscious, or did you just see it?
Wait, when did he kick me? I didn't remember, so it was a good kick. Oh, you know, I saw them getting up. I saw the fight in UFC, somebody threw a kick like that when they were getting up, and I was like, fuck it, if they could do it, I could do it. Oh, excuse my language, but if they could do it, I could do it.
Okay. I think that everybody here is impressed with your abilities, what goes on inside your mind. What was on your mind before you walked into this cage? How do you bring this?
What was on my mind? I got a fantastic team. These 3 guys, you know, they got fantastic face and fantastic smile, but they can fight. I got my ass whipped by them all the time. So if I could take that ass whooping, I could take his ass whooping. That guy is a monster. He took all 5 years, came in and stuck me in the first round, and hats off to that guy. One more thing, sorry. What was really on my mind? This is one of my managers, Jeremy Luchau. Richard Goodman, thank you for allowing me to fight. There's one other guy, I don't know, I can't see him. His name's Reed Harris. I was gonna see if me and Jeremy could go to the back. I'll FaceTime Jason House, and we could get a meeting and talk some business.
I think any promoter would want to talk to you and be in business with you again. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up again for Anthony Avila.
Thank you guys all for coming out here. Tachi, you've been fantastic. That's 5-0. The first time I've been to the second round in this cage. The last time, too, if you bring me back. It's going to be another first round finish. Thanks for everybody that supports local shows. Love you guys.
Anthony Avila getting it done, promises to finish in the first round his next time out of the TPF cage, and I don't know if he's going to be in the TPF cage for the next fight. Reed Harris, sign this man before somebody else does. Some action here. Anthony Avila ripping off shots to the body. Marcello Cassero, he was game. He was very close to winning this fight. Avila was in some trouble. We see it there, rocked, maybe battered at times, but far from broken. Avila with the takedown. Punishment on the floor. Was really able to make this fight work for him. Had to go through some adversity, but when Anthony Avila had an opportunity to make it work for him, he did. He capitalized. He walked through a hard kick that apparently, Leslie, he doesn't remember, which is a sign of being hurt. And Anthony Avila may have been hurt, but again, not beaten. And here comes the end. Beautiful kick. Caps it off. Anthony the Shark Avila, a prospect, an up-and-comer to be feared. He gets it done tonight in Lemoore.